Hello everybody, my name is Brian Aldana and welcome back to this channel. This week will be a little bit different. Last week y'all saw a week in my life. Hopefully a good introduction to who I am. If you haven't seen that video, check on back. It's my only other video on this channel as of now. This week I am planning on doing a fun little review / comparison of two of my favorite albums that have come out in the past 3 months. And that's SOS by SZA and Midnights by Taylor Swift. I have a couple disclaimers before I jump on into it. First disclaimer is that I love these albums. To me, they both hold the same kind of weight. Love them both. Don't really listen to them as much as I used to. And the last disclaimer that I will say before jumping into this video is that I am in fact a Swiftie. I have been a fan of Taylor Swift since Love Story by Taylor Swift came out when I was a wee child. It is the first song that I learned all the lyrics to. With that being said, I'll try to not be as biased or biased at all. Honestly, biased the other way, because that means I can critique Taylor Swift a lot more than I can critique SZA. In my opinion, that's what's happening. So let's first start with the two girlies, the two pop girlies. So something that's really fun and exciting is that SZA and Taylor Swift are both 1989 girlies. They're both American singer-songwriters, and they're both of the Chinese New Year or Chinese zodiac sign. They're both snakes, and so SZA a Scorpio, which in itself is saying a lot, and then Taylor Swift is Sagittarius, which in itself is also saying a lot. Both 33 years. SZA has been in the game since 2012 when she released her See SZA Run EP, and Taylor Swift since 2008 when she released her Beautiful Eyes EP. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know about SZA until Control dropped, so that was like circa 2017, 2018. Taylor Swift I've known, like I mentioned earlier, since like 2012. So obviously I'm coming from a different perspective on both of these artists. I love Control and I loved Taylor Swift, both of their debut albums. In that span, Taylor Swift has had 10 albums, Midnights being her 10th, and SZA coming out with her second album, SOS. SOS, released under Top Dog Entertainment and RCA. It is SZA's second studio album, released December 9th, 2012. That's literally not true. December 9th, 2022. It has artists that are featured that include Don Toliver, Phoebe Bridgers, Travis Scott, and the late Old Dirty Bastard. And then you have writers and producers like Benny Blanco, Babyface, writers like Annie Clemens and Lizzo. Actually, this is his first album to go #1 on the Billboard Hot 200, which is super exciting. The third female artist next to Miss Taylor Swift and Miss Adele to chart an album for 7 weeks once they debut. So, all exciting. SOS really was that girl. Truly solidified her scape in the music industry. I want to say, like, the fact that she's competing with pop mainstream people as a second album rollout R&B artist is incredibly impressive, and she's doing what she came to do. First week, she sold around 400,000 copies. Again, all digital, not a physical copy in sight, and super impressive. And I think up until now, I think this is week 7 as I'm filming this, she's still selling over 100,000 copies every single week. So incredibly impressive run. And it's still running, still doing the damn thing. So moving on to Midnights. So Midnights was released October 21st, 2022 under Republic Records. And this is Miss Taylor Swift's 10th studio album of new content, not including her re-recordings. This is her first album after Evermore. So she went to her folk era. Producers include Jack Antonoff, period, for the standard edition. And then I think for the deluxe edition, she has Aaron Dessner, which she worked with in Folklore and Evermore. In that first week, she sold 1.5 million units, and that was her 11th #1, obviously including her re-releases. And then we also had Anti-Hero be #1 for 8 weeks, which is her longest running #1 song. Wow. It beat out Wildest Dreams. It's her career peak. So it's exciting as a Swiftie to see that 15 plus years into her career, she's still peaking, which is exciting and deserved, I think, in my humble opinion. We can talk about critical acclaim. Both of these albums have been received with great critical acclaim. I think, let's see. Midnight. Okay, so SZA's SOS has a 90 on Metacritic, based on 20 reviews. The user scores is 8.5. Universal acclaim on both sides. Midnight's got an 85 Metascore with 28 critic reviews, and then an 8.3 user score. So again, both universal acclaim. The fans loved it. The critics loved both. I'm reviewing and comparing two albums that, at the end of the day, are very different from each other, are both very successful in their own rights, and both showcase a lot of different facets of amazing artists. Before I went on a tangent on critical acclaim, because who gives a fuck? Because we all know Pitchfork be giving 7.6s for no reason to the best albums of all time. So with that aside, I'll start with the rollouts of these albums, starting with SZA's SOS, which again, like I said, didn't know that existed until a while ago. She said it was going to be a SZA summer.
Putting on the album, but my album's finally like ready to go. Yeah, it'll be a SZA summer.
And she released this album December 9th. SZA Summer Wear Girly. So this album has been in the works for a while. Rollout was started with Good Days, which we all know from TikTok took over and became one of her biggest songs of all time. Great song, amazing song. Immediately, SZA established that this album was going to be, again, a piece of work, a piece of art, which then led to, I think that was released 2 years ago, and then that led to singles like I Hate You, again, because TikTok conversations, and Hits Different, which didn't make the album, which I think is a big flop, but it was sampled in one of her songs in the album. And then finally, Shirt was the other official single that came out before the album dropped. Rollout was kind of messy. I think what she did really well was the fact that she gave a snippet of each song before they came out. And I think that was really cool because it first of all, appeased the people that the song was there, and then it immediately had people begging for more. And I think the very last song that she teased was Blind, which I am obsessed with. And then she dropped the album with Nobody Gets Me. First music video / maybe possibly single, and then switched real quick to Kill Bill once Kill Bill was picking up more traction than Nobody Gets Me. I think SZA has a really good hold of her image and like understands what she wants to do. Obviously, Punch from Top Dog Entertainment constantly is trying to pit against her and make her downfall. So the story goes, who knows what's true and what's not. But we know this album has been in the works. I'm glad it came when it came, and I'm glad that it did what it did. But Rollout could have been, maybe 6 months versus 2 years, but that's neither here or there. Now, Taylor Swift's rollout was, I think, a 2-month rollout, maybe a 3-month rollout. She announced that she was dropping her 10th studio album with brand new music at the American Music Awards when she won her award for, I think, her Red album.
My brand new album comes out October 21st.
Maybe not even album. I think it was All Too Well music video that she won an award for. And she announced her 10th studio album. All of the Taylor Swift Swifties were quaking in their boots. New content. We had just gotten, I think, 2 re-releases before or after Evermore. So we were excited for all the new content. Rollout was quite interesting. And she announced the album and then dropped off the face of the earth up until like a month before the album was going to come out. When she started doing these goddamn motherfucking bingo shits that was pointless and useless, and trying to drop the track list. Girly, no one cared. Just give us the fucking track list. Anyways, that's my own opinion, I guess. And I stopped watching the videos. I just wanted to see the track list at the very end. And then was pleasantly surprised when I saw that it was just Taylor Swift featuring one Lana Del Rey song, all the 1975 girlies. The 1975 Lana Del Rey Tumblr girlies were excited for this era. because it was giving Tumblr era. The aesthetics, the visuals. She had dropped a couple visuals. She dropped the kind of snippets of what it was going to be about. It was like the somber midnight. You're thinking about all the things that you're doing. It was going to be a concept album. So that's also another big difference. Concept album versus non-concept album. For overall aesthetic, Rollout, I will say I think I'm going to give this one to Taylor Swift. I think she knows exactly how to do a rollout. She knows exactly how to get people excited about the music. SZA, it's like the Normani effect. I don't think she needs to do much. People just get excited about her music. So for rollout purposes, you can give it to Midnight. Even though the bingo shit was dumb, it had something to view, something to talk about while the album was dropping. Let's talk about music videos. I think Taylor Swift released 3 music videos as of now. We have an Anti-Hero music video that came out the day her album dropped. We have Bejeweled, which came out I think the same week, if not the week after. And then we also have the most recent music video, which is that of Lavender Haze. I think all of these music videos are perfectly good. Lavender Haze being my least favorite, Anti-Hero being second, I think Bejeweled being my favorite, even though the song, I think it helped me like the song, which is always a good thing. I think that's a good telltale sign that the music video did what it's supposed to do. If you come out liking the song even more, it did its job. And I think Anti-Hero and Bejeweled both did that for me when I watched those music videos. Lavender Haze did not. She said aesthetic girly and that's it. If you're a real Swiftie, you can like depict the meaning behind it all. I don't think I even cared enough to try to depict it. It just didn't give anything to me. Which I will equate to Nobody Gets Me, which was the music video that came out where SZA's just on a rooftop singing. Those music videos to me, even though I think one put in a lot more work than the other, I think both kind of gave nothing for the rollout. Now, that being said, the Kill Bill music video, as well as the Blind music video, as well as the, I think we got Blind, Good Days. Those music videos, absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I think when I'm thinking of Good Days music video, I'm thinking of Hit Different, so I actually don't remember what it looks like. It is what it is. I think the storytelling, the aesthetics, the visuals, 10 out of 10 from SZA's part. I think when it comes to the music video aspect, I would give it to SZA overall. Hopefully we'll be seeing something for Low. I know she released and it leaked a little that she was on a set and then she was on live and Low was playing in the background. So I'm looking forward to that one. I really hope we get Open Arms and Ghost in the Machine music video. If Phoebe is a ghost in that music video, even better. For Midnights, there needs to be a Karma music video because that song is top tier. So she needs to be stepping on some Scooter Braun visuals is all I'm saying. Absolutely love the aesthetics of both. It's very cohesive, the Midnights era. Visually, do I think it matches the music? No. That's neither here or there, I guess. SOS, not a cohesive, not supposed to be a conceptual album, so the visuals are just aesthetic and 10 out of 10. Just killer references and really good vibe. Now, let's get into the meat of it all, and that's the music, the songs, the tracks that inspired these concepts of 2 albums. They have really great standout tracks. So this faves from each album was really easy to build because they have some of my favorite songs that each of these artists have ever written, and just to prove it, I have my Spotify on repeat, and you can see that both of them are kind of sprinkled in amongst each other. I really don't listen to either one of these more than the other, but truly just standout tracks. Anyways, with that being said, faves from Midnights. I'll start with Midnights on this one. In no particular order, except for number 1. These songs are top tier Taylor Swift songs, and that's saying a lot because Taylor Swift has a lot of top tier songs. A lot of these stories, I learn more about her, or learn more about her perspective, and I think that's kind of the lore. Is that the right way to say that word? I don't know. The lore of Taylor Swift is that whatever music she comes out with, I'm going to love it because I learn more about her every time. So I think that's where the kind of bias kicks in of like, if you don't know her and you are listening to these lyrics, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? She packs a lot of her lyrics and storytelling. And that's not to say every song is like that. Obviously, Taylor Swift has songs like Anti-Hero that a lot of people relate to without even knowing what they're about. Which leads me to the least fave. Okay, to be honest, there's one least fave song from this album that I literally skip every time. One skip on this whole 20 tracks, and that's Vigilante Shit. Now, Vigilante Shit is the product of Taylor Swift being by herself. We know Speak Now. We know by Speak Now Taylor Swift. We know it's coming. We know that she can write songs that by herself that are really good. This is not one of them. That song is cringy at best, unhearable at worst. So that's that one. And then second one's Paris. That one's a hot take, I think. I don't like Paris. It's too glitz pop. It's too... The pre-chorus though slaps. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only song that I really don't like is Vigilante Shit. Anyways, with that being said, upon initial listen, 14 out of 20 songs were standout tracks for me, like tracks that I really liked when listening to Midnights. So that's a good 70%. On to SOS. Faves from SOS. Faves from SOS. Again, in no particular order except for number one. That's going to be Good Days. Good Days. Second one, Low. Nobody Gets Me. Open Arms featuring Travis Scott. And then lastly, there's supposed to be 5, but Good Day. Okay. Lastly, Ghost in the Machine featuring my girl, Phoebe Bridgers. I'm truly out of pocket, but I love. Nobody Gets Me, out of pocket, but I love. Like I said, this is where the differences between Midnights and SOS really come through, is that fact that Midnights is supposed to be a concept album and sonically sounds like a concept album, whereas SOS is eclectic. I think I remember hearing a lot of reviews of like, oh, it's all the same sound, sonically cohesive. Clearly, no, it's not. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be. I don't think she was trying to be. I think all of these songs are actually very different, and I love that about this album. And then least faves. Again, this was actually hard. I don't think any of the songs on this album are bad. Like Vigilante Shit is bad, but at the very bottom I have Notice Me and Love Language. Those are probably more like personal, I don't know, like Love Language. I'm like, but that's that on that. So those are my bottom two, Notice Me, Love Language. Initial listen, I hearted 15 out of 23 songs, so that's like a 65.2%. Again, 70%, 65.2%. These albums both had initial reactions that are very much the same of, wow, okay, good, nothing's horrible. And then they aged very equally to me as well. Standout tracks stood out, and then I listened to those for the most part. And I think both albums had a period for like 2 weeks or so. Had a period of 2... Bitch, what the fuck? Period of 2 weeks where they were on repeat, and I absolutely loved them. I think Midnights probably lasted a little longer. Again, Swiftie. So, from the music perspective, percentage-wise, Midnights, I think, beats out SOS. Now let's do a deep dive into the lyrics, into the songs, even deeper into the tracks. In this chapter, I'm comparing lyrics on SZA's SOS versus lyrics on Midnights from Taylor Swift. Let's start with Give Me Back My Girlhood. It was mine first. Now, this one was out of pocket. This was one in which all the Taylor Swift girlies on TikTok were going crazy just because this is insane. We learned so much, and this goes back to Taylor Swift, the narrative, we know the narratives that Taylor Swift experienced being a celebrity that people watched. And so we know that John Mayer was the person she was dating when she was 19 because of Dear John, because of Speak Now. And when you hear that line and the way she presents it, it's a lot. You have the Meet Me at Midnight opening. That's it. Lavender Haze starting with Meet Me at Midnight, and it's a conceptual album called Midnights. I don't need to say any more from that one. I'll Stare Directly at the Sun, but Never in the Mirror. Now, this is from Antihero, a song that when I first listened to it, cringed. I didn't like hearing it. I was like, what is this, Taylor Swift? This is giving millennial. I have anxiety and depression. Now, is that song still that? Yes. But the gem of the line, I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror, is iconic. The implications that line has. Mwah. Now, this is one of my favorite lines of the track / one of my favorite Taylor Swift lines of all time. That comes from Karma. We have Karma is a god. We've been new. Karma is the breeze in her hair in the weekend. Iconic. This is the line. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? That line and the implications of that line are grave. The way that she uses karma to be a concept that we all have, we all own, we all have. But for her, karma is good. Karma is her boyfriend. Karma is all these things that happen in her life. But for you at Scooter Braun, karma is not that. Implications too high, too damn good. And the fact that she was able to bake that in a fun pop song is too good. Verse 2 of Sweet Nothing, when she says, on the way home, I wrote a poem. You say what a mind, this happens all the time. Now, as a true Swiftie, when they hear this line, heart flutters, butterflies everywhere. You know, we hear from a lot of different songs, people just don't appreciate her and her mind. And the soft, gentle aspect of her life that we get, of her coming home, writing a poem on her way home, and having her partner say, wow, what a mind, is truly so genuinely sweet that I absolutely love that line. Now, let's jump into SOS. Again, another amazing songwriter. These two are undeniably such great songwriters. I'll start with Kill Bill. I'm so mature, I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men, but I don't want none, I just want you. Messy, but such a good line. I think that probably resonated with a lot of people, you know? Everyone wants to kill their ex, apparently, and Kill Bill being number 2 on the charts says a lot about the American public. And I think this line is iconic. I'm so mature, I got me a therapist. But also, I don't want any of other men, I just want you. I'm gonna kill you, actually. Kill your girlfriend that they're dating. Like, mwah, art.
Ciao. Anyway, so
all of the love I seek living inside of me, I can't see, I'm blind. Now, first of all, the way that she presents this, beautiful. The melody, too good, too gorgeous. But all of the love I seek living inside of me, I can't see, I'm blind. The implications of that. Girlie knows that the love is inside of her, that she needs to have self-love, and yet she can't see. She's blind. Girlie, what? No, that's disrespectful. And anyone who can relate to that, R.I.P. your self-love. Anyways, next song, Ghost in the Machine. Robot got sleep, but I don't power down. Now, first here, you're like, are you okay, girlie? Like, what are you talking about? This is interesting. Song choice, lyric choice. But the robot gets sleep, but I don't power down. Also the implications on that. That is so powerful that she's comparing herself to a robot to begin with. First of all, that comparison that she's comparing herself to a robot is already... Next lyric. Good days. Again, Good Days, Karma, same. Good Days is the outro. The half of us chasing fountains of youth, but it's in the present. She spoke truth with that one, and it hurts. And then lastly, I'll end with in Open Arms, Travis Scott again, another favorite. But please put a leash on me anyway. Who needs self-esteem anyway? That shit hurts. And I think that kind of highlights the difference, the main difference when it comes to SZA's lyricism versus Taylor Swift lyricism. SZA's is extremely raw in the sense of she says this as it is and kind of the way she's thinking it about it. And that's very powerful. And then Taylor Swift lyricism uses a lot of similes, metaphors, or kind of other ways of wording it that maybe might take a little to kind of understand what's going on, but is also powerful, incredibly powerful in its own merit. And I think both of these methods of lyricism, I don't think either one is better. I think both of them do a good job of having these both in their writing and in a lot of their songs. Obviously, this is one album, and I picked out very specifically because they're my favorite lyrics, and so they both do that very well, and I think they both are great songwriters. And I think to finish this chapter, this is where the bias kicks in. I'm a Swiftie. I've been following her. These lyrics just hit so much more just because I know her story, I know her narrative, or, you know, the one that we are given. And absolutely love these lyrics. And so I would have to give it to Midnights. With that being said, quick summary. At the end of the day, if I'm comparing these two, I'd give both of these albums an 82% out of 100. I think they both are equal in my books. I think they both give different elements of what's good in music right now. You have a lot of good R&B, you have a lot of good pop. Lyricism, both top tier on both albums. I think I kind of generally spoke about 4 different things, and that is overall rollout, the beginning of it all, music videos, sonics, and then lyrics. I have overall rollout. I think Taylor Swift did a much better cohesive kind of introduction to the era and what that means. I think that's something that Taylor Swift takes a lot of pride in and does a good job. She spends a lot of time curating what the album's going to look like and the era's going to look like before jumping into it. Music videos, I would give to SZA. I think she did so well in videos like Kill Bill and having snippets of the next song with visuals as well. You know, that's like a whole other part of building it together. I'm giving that to SZA. Sonics, I'm giving to SZA. I think the sound of the album, because it was eclectic, kind of provided a lot of new, rich sounds. The switch up for Phoebe Bridgers, the song was really good. The F2F switch up was really fun. Nobody Gets Me, amazing. And then you have songs like Low, and you have songs like T-Shirt that kind of hone in on more of that kind of trap beat that is really enjoyable to listen to. And then for lyrics, ending Taylor Swift. So among those four things, all weighted the same. I'd go 50-50. I really enjoy both of these albums. Big fan of both of these artists. These were both two very successful albums, and SZA continues being at the top of the charts. SOS and Midnight's had its reign for a bit as well. I would love to know what your favorite songs are on these two albums. What are your favorite songs? What are your favorite lyrics? Which albums do you prefer and why? Again, I don't think I have a preference. I think if I were to put both of these albums onto one playlist, I think I'd actually have the best of times. And I'm waiting for the deluxe version of SZA's album because I think Lizzo's going to be on it amongst many other artists, hopefully Doja Cat. Final disclaimer, this is all my personal opinions. Their pathways and trajectories and experiences in this industry are just incomparable. I think they're both doing their own thing and they're both doing amazing things in those lanes. With that being said, what are your thoughts? Midnights or SOS? SOS, it is Midnights. No, wait, that's not what I said. SOS, it's Midnight. Okay. I'll see you on the next video. Hope you enjoyed this little breakdown, this little clip, these little conversations. And let me know what you'd like to see next. Bye.